Hello, good morning, it's Vanilla here. And I wanted to talk a little bit about language. This felt relevant to me this morning in the light of the news that I heard as I woke up, where in Christchurch, New Zealand, 40 people were shot dead in 2 mosques by 4 right-wing extremists. Now I imagine me saying that has conjured up a picture which would be different in nearly everybody's heads, because we code our information differently. But that's a subject for another video. My focus is on the language that was used for the reporting, because I had a conversation with a couple of people soon after, and they had their own opinions on the words that were being used. So the report described it as a terror attack, and I wondered whether the word terror was being used because if it had been the other way round, it would have been called a terror attack. So they were making an equivalent. Somebody else I spoke to felt that it was inappropriate and that actually it was a hate crime. And why weren't they using the phrase hate crime? Was it because in some way they were slightly lessening how important it was? So see, the words that we use and the meaning we give them depends on our own particular beliefs, our own values, our own perspective. And the point I really wanted to think about is that we talk, blah, 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 blah. We just talk every day. And how often do we really think about the language that we're using? The words fall out of our mouths. But what the words do is give a picture of how we think to other people. They also give a picture to our unconscious mind of how we think. And that words carry so much meaning. Each of us has a different understanding for particular words. And if you look in the dictionary, you'll see several interpretations for one word. So it could actually be quite a minefield. What I'm not saying is that you need to think about every single word that comes out of your mouth. But sometimes stop and reflect about the phrasing that you're using. What is it that you're saying to somebody else by the words that you're using? Because words do carry a lot of power. And it can be really interesting to listen to how other people speak and the effect of their words on us and how their language really tells us how they think. Because actually what comes out of our mouth is just the surface. There's so much more that goes on underneath. And then in the media, those words can really affect how we think. They can influence our opinion. And that's why I think it's quite useful to stop and reflect on what the language we're using and what the language other people are using actually means. What it's saying, what's the deeper meaning, and perhaps question it. Because what people say carries so much information, as I said. And we can find out a lot more about a person if we really listen to the words that they use. So how about doing that today? Either go out and listen to the words that you say, or go out and listen to the words that other people are using and think about what they're assuming, or what their picture of the world is, what their opinions and what their thoughts are really deeper down. That's my thought on Friday about language. Language is so important. It carries such huge meaning and it can have such an effect on the way that we think. Love to know what you think too. Pop your comments below the video, and have a great Friday and a lovely weekend.